All right, yeah, perfect.
Working?
I think it's better. Anyways, can you open up Resonations?
Yep.
Okay, it's good. The right side is a little cut off, but that's fine.
I can try and fix it. Let's see.
Okay, I don't know what exactly the fix will be, but you know.
Well, I might be able to just manually like adjust the screen.
Oh, sure. Okay. Oops.
You know, like this. All right, tell me how that looks.
All right, give me 1 second. I accidentally refreshed the page. All right, it is loading. Okay. And that looks good. Yeah, that looks good. That looks good. Great work.
Thank you.
All right. Yeah, so you want to switch to the browser tab so we can get started?
Yep. Let me do that. Find the tournament page. Okay.
And post on Discord.
So we got SDO PLA on the agenda here.
All right. Yep. All right. Welcome, everybody. Thank you so much for coming. I'm sorry for the minor problems with tech that made us start a little bit late. But welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night from wherever you are around the world. I'm olddirtyh the pair, and this is olddirtyh. Glad to have you guys all with us.
We are here. I don't know how to put my camera on at the same time, so you guys are just going to have to hear my voice.
All right, so today we're going to be casting SDO versus PLA. Let's have a look at the teams if we can on the web browser. Let's take a look at the players quickly.
Yep. Let me get it here.
All right. So let's have a look at the players, and we have all right, on SDO, we've got Jim, Charlie, and Mike, who have some interesting screen names. Oldie, do you know anything about any of these players?
I don't. I do not.
All right. Well, there'll be a wild card up against their opponents, PLA.
Yep. Let's get the. Oh, here's the both matchups here.
All right, and we got Old Cat, Soul, Wolf, and Ben.
Yep.
Who would you say is the favorite here? Based on guessing.
Well, yeah, I mean, we have no idea what SDO is. They could be all Smurfs.
Yeah.
But you know, PLA is PLA. They're pretty solid. So I have to go with PLA just because I know those guys at least. SDO, I don't have no idea.
Yeah. So. Definitely. All right. So before we start casting the game, let's go over some quick things that have surfaced. This is week 1 of the tournament, of the Nordic Classic tournament, as you may know, and there have been a couple hiccups, but we're here to address those. So first of all, so Nordic Classic is meant to be a 3v3 tournament. Most teams registered 3 to 4 players in order to try to make sure that we always have at least 3 players on hand. However, we know this doesn't always happen because life gets in the way, or people mess up scheduling, or something like that, and that's okay. But we really, really want to reiterate that even though it, we might mess up here and there, we ask that you really, really try your best to make it 3v3 and schedule within a reasonable time frame. I know it may be a lot of work, and everybody's situation is different, but please, please, please really try your best to schedule and be consistent and show up on time. A number of games have been in the first round have been 2v2 because it's the first week, and we don't really want to give auto losses in round one. So as you might see in the upcoming cast, there might be some 2v2 games. However, please, please try to make it 3v3. All right, and in addition, we have another thing to talk about. This tournament is, if you really enjoy the tournament and you really, really want to help us out, we have a donation link for you. It's a GoFundMe. I'm going to post it in this YouTube chat, and Old, if you could find it on the website.
Yeah, I just opened it.
Cool. Yeah, so if you're interested in supporting the tournament, if you're interested in adding to the prize pool and making things a little bit more exciting, please consider donating. The Nordic Classic is brought to you by Connor McDavid. He is the sole tournament organizer, and he's been working really, really hard to try and bring you this awesome opportunity. And we're trying our best to bring you this cast. So, if you want to help out, if you want to show your support, please consider donating. All right, and two other quick things. So, as I understand it, there are 8 games that are scheduled to be done by Monday, and so far 6 of those matches have finished. One, I believe, Strat versus Alia Lacta S is scheduled later because there's specific reasons that are validated by the tournament organizer. That's totally fine, and I believe the Quebec team has not replied to any responses to their opponents. So please, if you know the Quebec players, the players on the Quebec team, or you talk to them, or you are one of them, please send a message to Connor McDavid or your opponents to try to schedule the first match. Yeah. All right. Am I missing anything, Oldie, or shall we get to the game?
Let's get to the game.
All right, cool.
Well, give me 1 second here. Hold on. Sorry.
Yeah, sure, no worries.
One second here.
All right. For those of you who are just joining in, we're just waiting on Oldie really quickly before we start up the match against SDO versus PLA Kung Fun. Again, SDO has Jim, Charlie, and Mike, whereas Kung Fun has Old Cat, Soul, Wolf, and Ben. This is a best of 3 match, so we're really excited to take a look and see what's happening, what the results of these games are.
All right, sorry about that, guys. I'm back and ready to rock.
No worries. All right, let's quickly let's pull. Can you pull up the first game, but don't play, and then let's talk about the bands?
Yes. Let me. I have to put those in my folder. I think did I put them in my folder? Hold on, let me check. Hold on. I gotta. If you want to start talking about the bands while I do this.
Oh yeah, sure. Okay, so the bands this round. So it turns out the SDO banned Japanese, British, and Spanish. Also, for you viewers, we will eventually have a stream overlay, a scoreboard overlay that will show all the band nations and the score and stuff. But we don't have that quite yet. But for now, you'll just have to listen to us talk about it. So SDO banned Japanese, British, and Spanish. whereas PLA banned Inca, British, and Greeks. This is a pretty interesting set of bans, honestly. Going into the tournament, I was under the impression that a lot of people would ban Lakota because many people think Lakota are one of the strongest nations in Nomad, especially considering their nation powers.
Yep.
However, it seems these teams disagree, or at least they believe they can counter the power of Lakota. So SDO has banned Japanese for Tier 1, whereas PLA has banned Inca. Definitely an interesting set of bans. Japanese obviously are feared for how fast they are, how consistent they are, and that they don't quite fall off as hard as Lakota, especially in the very late game. Whereas PLA have banned Inca of all things. Inca, which is a Tier 2 nation according to the old Nomadium 2 rules. Under this new tournament system in Nordic Classic, however, it's a Tier 1 nation. Inca is a very powerful nation, obviously. Has a lot of strengths. Obviously the wealth gathering is quite strong, but they're a bit of a slow nation. So it's definitely interesting that PLA have banned Inca over a faster nation like Mongols or Germans or Japanese. For Tier 2, they both agree on British. British seems to be one of the stronger picks in Tier 2. Obviously, British, the advantage of them are flexibility, being quite strong in both offense and defense because of their high commerce cap as well as good archers. The high commerce cap allows them to easily despot rush without being too hurt by it, whereas the archers and also the high commerce cap allow them to boom well and play more on the defensive side or for a longer game. And then finally for Tier 3, we see SDO has banned Spanish, whereas PLA have banned Greeks. So I believe, to my understanding, it's not quite clear which of the Tier 3 nations are among the stronger ones. Everybody has their own likes and dislikes. SDO have banned Spanish. Spanish, obviously, there's a couple different bonuses. First of all, the map vision is really, really helpful. Being able to see all the rares, see the terrain, see where people are, that sort of thing. In addition to their incredible heavy infantry, which deal bonus damage to cavalry, even more so than regular heavy infantry, as well as their free heavy ships on maps like Watering Hole. And PLA have banned Greeks for their Tier 3 pick. Greeks obviously is an excellent nation on water maps. Getting that extra knowledge is excellent. In addition, they're just quite powerful in a lot of scenarios where, they may be given a little bit of time to age up to medieval age as fast as possible. So again, the bans in this are SDO banned Japanese, British, and Spanish, whereas PLA banned Inca, British, and Greeks. Let me know in the chat what you guys think about these bans. I don't know what's happening on Old's end, but I hope it's working out.
Yeah, I'm just waiting to load the game.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Go ahead and load the game. I'm all set.
Okay. So it's game 1 loading up. Now, are you watching it from this screen or from your own game?
All right. Cool. Yeah. If you want to pause at 0 seconds so we can do the thing. So again, this is a cast of AS Ether Pair, that's me, and olddirtyh, who's also on the line, and the one who's dealing with all the tech issues. Yep. Thank you, olddirtyh.
You're welcome. Doing my best here.
All right, so let's start it. Do you want to count down?
I'm at 1 second, actually, but it might be a little delayed because I'm streaming, so
all right, no worries.
Check in periodically.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, just call it out.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, cool. So let's take a look at the players. So we've got on PLA side we've got Soul, Old Cat, and Wolf, and on the SDO side we've got Rocinante, Jesus of Nazareth, and Rowan G. Ko.
Yep.
All right, and it looks like this map is Amazon rainforest based on the texture.
Yep, that's what it looks like.
Shall we take a look at the nations, Old?
Sure. So we got Well, I'll just go by
I
the
think
colors. Green is Turks, blue is China, and red is Americans. And then
All right.
on the other side, we have purple is Turks, white is Iroquois, and yellow is Korean.
All right. You can check this by going to the game stats under score.
Yeah,
It'll give you a nice convenient list, if you will. All right. So what do you think about these picks? Who do you think has the better set of picks? So again, SDO has Turks, Americans, and Chinese, whereas PLA has Turks, Iroquois, and Koreans.
I like the Turk Iroquois Korean. I like Iroquois. I do like Americans though. It's kind of a good counter. But Iroquois is fast. You know, they have the free scouts nice early. You can get out and see what's going on with your opponents. And their heavy infantry is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
And, you know, Koreans are a great defensive nation. They can boom. They can defend. They get those free citizens, so they can be pretty fast.
Yeah, definitely. They've also got an excellent militia rush because their siege are more powerful than the normal catapult as well.
That's
and
right.
They also get free... free militia research, which is quite good.
Now let's look. If you notice here, I'm looking at PLA. Looks like Wolf is kind of isolated from the other two.
Yeah, that's true. I'm also seeing that he's way far in the right side, whereas the other two are kind of clumped together and back in the corner.
Yeah.
On SDO's side, they're kind of more in a straight line. They're all kind of connected.
Yeah.
But it looks like it could be an opportunity to. It could be an opportunity to isolate them.
Yeah, let's see how they scout, and if they can realize that early, they can try and cut him off from the rest of the pack. And
yeah, but so far it looks like there's very little scouting from the SDO side. I'm not sure why they're not scouting.
Well, it looks like Red's got one scout going up. Well, he's got two out now, looks like. And Blue's getting a scout going.
Okay. Yeah, and they're sending out scouts now.
Yeah.
For players new to the Nomad and the format, scouting is incredibly, incredibly important, especially when you don't start off with a space scout unit, right?
Yep.
You really need to know where your opponents are, where the best place to build your next city, where the good rares are, where to raid, all those things. Scouting is really, really important, in addition to just getting ruins, so your start is much faster.
That's right. It looks like Soul's scouting with 3, so that's 4 actually. No, 3, so that's pretty good. I usually go 3 or 4 depending on the situation of the map. If I have a Lakota teammate, sometimes I'll only scout 2. It just depends.
Yeah, definitely. Scouting depends a lot on, or at least how many scouts to use depends a lot on the map and your location.
Yeah.
And obviously how many players are on the map.
Yeah, and Amazon's a great one because there's just so many ruins. I mean, if you look,
exactly.
You know, I just showed the whole map. You can see there's just ruins everywhere. So you can just really, you know, use those to get going fast by scouting.
Let's take a look at the ruin resources if you could. I believe it's under stats economy.
Which one's stats?
So there's a check mark in the top right corner, and then game stats.
Got you.
So while Aldi does that, we're looking at purple and yellow's library. Old Cats and Souls library is going down, and
look at yellow's got 225 ruins.
All right.
Oh.
Well, that is quite a lot of ruins.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like clearly you can see that even though red has more runes than purple and white, it looks like PLA's scouting is just superior.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you look at how much of the map they've revealed, it's also quite clear.
Yeah.
Anyway, so it looks like we've got libraries going up. Looks like most people are going for Commerce 1. We've got Old Cat and Soul both going for Commerce 1. Rowan G. Ko, Jesus of Nazareth, and Rocinante also going for Commerce 1. And let's see what Wolf is doing. Wolf is also going for Commerce 1. This is a pretty standard start in Nomad. Go for Commerce 1, get that market down, get some merchants to rares to boost your economy, and then hopefully maybe civic or military, depending on the situation.
Yeah, so right now PLA only knows they found silver. They know about wine and sugar. But they have diamonds in the middle that they haven't scouted yet. So, but
oh yeah, I see that.
Yeah, so that's if they can open that, and then you have silk down at 93's cap, so that's nice. They know about that. They have bison at Beijing and horses at Washington. So those are 3 good rares at the caps. So those are pretty easy to defend. And in the back corner, left corner, you have furs and dye also. So that's 2 library rares, which is huge for SDO.
Yeah. We'll see. I think. What would you say about the rares balance-wise? Would you say they favor one team or the other?
Turks with furs is pretty deadly because you can go speeds are super fast, but it doesn't really look like they're setting up. I mean, it's still kind of early, so we'll see. Well, let's see where green sieves. It looks like he's gonna maybe go towards the middle. I don't think they're gonna go try to isolate white. So sugar and silver is great, obviously, and that's what PLA has. That's a great combination.
Yeah.
Age super fast.
Really.
You don't even.
Yeah, really fast age.
Yeah. Okay, looks like Iroquois dropping the city down.
Interesting that the Iroquois player has chosen to sit on the bottom there. It seems like Wolf is almost asking to get separated.
Yeah, I'm not sure what his play is here. I guess just to protect that mountain.
Maybe, but it's very in his territory. I would have expected more over to the middle.
Yeah, maybe here somewhere, and try and get this mountain maybe. There's no rares to protect over there, so I don't know what he's really doing with that. Yeah. They just found diamonds, so they'll have that available.
Yep.
And if you look at the Greens build, he's also building in a really bad spot at the second city. Pinch between these 2 rivers and all this wood and rocks. I mean, you can't build hardly any buildings there.
Yeah, and also, for example, if you have farms behind that line of trees and there's raiders coming, you can't send your citizens into your city fast enough. They'll take extra shots from the raiders.
Yeah. So I guess he's just, I don't know what the play is there, but we'll find out.
Yeah.
Blue one with the standard build right up the middle, so that's good.
Yeah.
And red also. You were saying, I'm sorry.
All right, so it looks like there's no aggression coming out yet. Well, if you look at Seoul's city, he's putting down a barracks right now at Muryang.
Oh yeah.
We'll have to see if anything comes of that. Whereas everybody else looks like they, aside from Rowan, most of them haven't even researched Military 1 yet. And it looks like Old Cat is banking a lot of food, has skipped Military 1.
Oh, so you think he's going Wonder? Must be, right?
Perhaps. I'm not entirely sure.
I'm thinking Colossus, because it looks like he's hoarding wood and gold to go Colossus.
Yeah, and he's clicked up to age. Very, very interesting. Yeah. We'll have to see what comes out of this Turks player. And on the other side, it looks like nobody's quite close to aging. It is quite early. 8 minutes is a very, very early aging time.
Yeah, the Americans have all their age level 1 research done.
Yep.
They can age. Same with Chinese. And I'm curious what the Turks are. There's a racks up in the bottom corner here now. The green Turks.
Yes. With Rowan's racks.
Yep. So let's see if he's going to go raiding or not. Or if that's just defensive. And it's a bad spot for that Rax because you can't.
Looks like Wolf has also gotten a Rax, just finished a Rax, and is also constructing a tower. So
yeah, he's
we'll
got a
have to
scout
see.
coming in. Yeah, I see a scout. And he's got some raiders coming here, some heavy infantry coming around the back. Yep, and Old Cat's going Colossus, what I kind of expected. Here's the 6 souls picking off scout here.
Yep. So interesting. Here we see that Sol has made a couple of military units, but has chosen to not send them on raids and instead playing defensive. And of course, we see that Colossus from Old Cat now as expected.
Yep. And there's a tower going up at the diamonds now. That's a smart move. And Sol's gonna age soon.
Yep.
Which timestamp are you at?
I'm at 9:22.
Okay, I'll pause for a second. A little ahead. Let me know when you get to 45.
Right. Okay. And if you just look at the scores, like there is still already a sizable difference, right? There's like nearly 140 point swing, at least on my screen.
Oh yeah, yeah, big time.
It looks like the SDO players are doing all right though. I'm at 45.
Okay.
It looks like the SDO players are doing all right though, and let's see if we can get a wonder out of Rocinante here. As the Americans player, obviously, Instant Wonder is an incredibly powerful nation power.
Yeah, I don't think so because he doesn't have he's only got 22 gold income. So it might be a minute for him to get if he's going to go garden.
Yeah, that's true.
He could get pyramid. So.
Yeah, it could. All right, it looks like Wolf and Jesus of Nazareth both clicked up. And it looks like we're just waiting on Rowan, who is yet to click up. Interestingly, it seems like the lack of wealth rares has hurt SDO a bit. All their wealth incomes are quite low. Plus 22, plus 29, plus 42.
And we got a little raid coming up here at near Wolf's Wood Camp. If you can see, there's some archers.
Oh yeah. Definitely an interesting raid, but currently they're attacking the library, not a super useful raiding tactic. Would not recommend it.
And in the bottom right, you have the classic militia raid. They just took out, Sol just took out Jesus of Nazareth merchant there at Spice, so that was nice.
Yep. Quite a powerful, nice little usage of the Korean power, nation power.
Yep. And looks like he's trying to get a city. Okay, he got it up. So Sol just got his 3rd city up, right in the middle there, taking another mountain, so that's a good spot.
Yep. It looks like we're not going to see any aggression for a little while, especially considering, the Turks players are a little on the slow side, what with Old Cat getting his Colossus and Rowan kind of just sitting there.
Yep. Yeah, this archer raid, well, he got all those woodcutters in, but he's going to lose archers up here. A wolf's cap.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Slowed him a little bit, but not enough to really do anything.
Yeah. Very interesting. I'm really interested to see what comes out of Old Cat if he's going to start putting on pressure as obviously he's a Turks player or is going to play a more defensive game using the Colossus advantage.
I hear some great raids down at Bison. They just took out. They got they got heavy infantry from Iroquois.
Yeah, definitely.
Yep. And a militia. It looks like he's going to be able to save at least a couple of those units, so that's always good when you're a raider.
Yep. That combined raid of militia plus heavy infantry is actually quite effective.
Oh, yeah.
Especially if there's no guards there.
Yeah, and like you said, their gold income for SDO just isn't there. 54 for Rocinate, 39 for Nazareth, 44 for Roganko. We got 59 up top for white, 57 for yellow, and 92 for Old Cat. So he's getting a nice.
He's really making bank there.
Yeah, and that's gonna be dangerous because he's gonna be able to age fast as well with these Turks. So he's probably gonna age 3 way before these guys are even close. So,
yeah, especially with silver and sugar.
Yeah, that's what I mean, and diamonds.
Yep.
You can just pump out, scholars. E2.
Yep.
But he's got 45 knowledge. That's probably enough to carry him. He looks like he's going mill 2. He still hasn't done science 1 yet.
Yep.
And he's also using wool, which is great because you get that even cheaper on top of the cheaper bonus that Turks already get for the citizens.
Oh yeah, definitely, and the increased build speed.
Yep.
Wool is usually an underappreciated rare. It gives knowledge, which obviously is excellent, but otherwise a lot of players seem to gloss over it. But it can be really, really powerful, especially if you're playing with Colossus or you're a Turks player in this case.
And to point out as well, wool coupled with sugar, because sugar automatically lowers the bonus for food costs, so you're getting even cheaper citizens on top of that.
Yeah, definitely. And it looks like Wolf is still raiding. He's destroying these horses merchants in the back.
Yep, and now Old Cat's also raiding with the light cavalry on die as well.
Oh, yep, I see that. This is looking quite troublesome. It looks like SDO is in a lot of trouble. They're nearly 500 points behind in average team score.
Yep.
They're way behind in wealth, and their economies aren't even the best.
And they're not getting the best usage either. If you see, they're hoarding a lot of resources. Well, at least Red was. Got a lot of metal there.
Yeah. And especially as the Americans player, you really, really want to just pump out archers or heavy infantry or javelineers. You just really want to get that income. You want to continuously spend your money because that's part of how to play an RPG like this. You got to spend your resources when you can. You want to be able to spend them efficiently, and you want to get a lot of resources to use.
Yeah, and these raids are just brutal. They're just relentlessly raiding them.
Yep. And it looks like they're not really putting up much of a fight in defending or doing a terrific job replacing the merchants anyways. And
they're not counter raiding either. So
no, they aren't. They're just letting the other team sit on the other side.
Yeah.
Even though sometimes it can be tough to counter raid and try to defend your own raids. It is important because your opponent is spending resources in trying to slow you down, which means they might be spending a little less resources trying to defend their own rares.
That's right.
If you look down at Rowan's side, he's got 2 catapults, which I'm not sure what they're doing there, and because he doesn't have that large of an army, but we'll see. Maybe we'll see some more constant unit production as well as up to plus 150 eco at some point.
And you see Old Cat, as I mentioned before, he's probably going to age here pretty quick. He's already at almost 300 knowledge.
Yep.
And,
probably another 2 or 3 minutes and he'll be there.
Yep. And then that may be GG because I don't think Rocinate. Yeah, he's still quite a ways away from aging. He could catch up. He could if he's again, these Americans are great because you could just start spamming army out, really get your economy up. But his army's tiny.
Yes, it is quite small. As the Americans player, often the archers are your best bet because they scale. Crossbowmen scale really, really well into the medieval age, and also it's not even like you're using your wealth too poorly because you get income for each of those archers. Eventually, every archer you make is going to pay itself off.
Yep. I don't know if you saw this, but Old Cat just came in and sniped out Cotton Merchant while Rocinate was just taking a nap. I mean, stood there.
Yeah, that is quite brutal.
Yeah. I mean,
so let's take a look at the economies of the teams as a whole. So it looks like we've got obviously Old Cat with excellent 150 eco. And
160
so
with
does
die.
Soul
I mean, with diamonds.
and Wolf.
Yeah.
Sorry?
So they're all at 160 with diamonds, you know?
Yep. Whereas, for example, it looks like Rowan doesn't even have 150 food income. We're currently at 110, and same with Blue here. Looks like Rocinante is doing okay. Has put up that hanging gardens as we expected earlier. Unfortunately, won't have enough food to make use of that bonus knowledge quite yet.
Right. And I see Rowan's trying to press a little bit here. He's got another siege factory up. But Iroquois got a decent-sized army. He should be able to hold that off.
Yeah, definitely. It looks like Iroquois has the cavalry advantage here. That is an important point for our new viewers, especially cavalry are really strong in this game, especially heavy cavalry.
And especially early on, when you're talking H2 versus H1 or H3 versus H2, it's huge difference.
Yeah.
Can really change.
All right, and it looks like both Old Cat and Soul have both clicked up to medieval age, which is not a good sign for our SDO champions here.
Yeah.
In fact, Soul has actually put down pyramids to solidify the ability to grow late game.
Yep, and Wolf's going 3 now too as well.
Really interested to see if we see any excellent teamwork, like doubling any of these players. It looks like although the players are a bit far spread apart, a rotation would be quite powerful, especially if it goes unnoticed.
Well, I think you have Old Cat kind of taken one-on-one with Rocinate, but it looks like Soul's going to rotate and pressure Rowan with Wolf.
Yeah, it looks like that.
Yep. Because I see he's got an army lined up right in the middle there, headed towards Ankara. Yep.
And honestly, it feels to me like SDO need to be the ones that are rotating. They're behind in economy. They're behind in military. They need to be the ones that are rotating and making things happen around the map, rather than playing a little bit more passive like they have been and letting PLA dictate the outcome of this match.
Yeah. Okay, let's see what the setup is here. So it looks like Nazareth's got a little army. He's going to try and bother Hung Nam here in the middle. But I don't know.
Yep.
I mean, he doesn't have any siege. Or he does. He has one siege. But against a large Korean city, that's basically useless.
Yeah. What time frame are you at?
1817.
All right.
What are you at?
I was like a minute ahead. I skipped head back stint.
Okay.
And it looks like there's now 2 fights that are happening at the same time. I'm not sure when you'll see them, but there's a fight on the very left side between Old Cat and Rocinante.
Yep.
The H3 army shredding through the H2 army, and on the right side, obviously, we have Rowan and Wolf putting up a fight. I didn't quite see what happened there, but I imagine it was a similar outcome.
Yeah, it looks like Wolf's gonna roll through there pretty easy.
Yep. And again, this was a matter of both obviously the rares being in favor of PLA. Obviously, sugar, silver, diamonds are incredible rares.
Yep.
But also, it was a matter of playstyle, right? PLA are the ones who are putting the opponents in the back foot. They're the ones raiding constantly. They're the ones putting pressure on the opponents, whereas SDO is just sitting there waiting, trying to boom up when clearly the rares don't help them, don't give them a chance.
Let's see, 90's about to age, though. He might be able to save the city here if he ages.
Yeah, we'll have to see.
Almost there.
Very, very
Oh,
close.
that's brutal. You didn't get it.
Yeah.
Brutal.
Crunch.
I might see some GGs coming out here in a minute.
Yep.
And they're just constantly raiding. PLA is just constantly raiding.
And it looks like on the right side, Wolf has also taken that city.
Yeah.
And it looks like SDO is going to lose this one.
Yeah, they're losing on all fronts.
Yep.
And Rowan's hasn't even aged yet. It's close to aging.
So we see here, PLA are clearly playing Rise of Nations 101, right?
Yeah.
I mean, the strategy is clear, right? First, protect yourself. Make sure you're safe from early raids. Don't take devastating damage, and then you start raiding your opponent, keeping them on the back foot, making sure your units are in their territory all times, and therefore their units are not raiding you. So your economy goes untouched while theirs is hindered, and eventually you boom up because you have a better economy and you crush them.
Yep. I'm not seeing how SDO is going to be able to get out of this.
Yeah, it's not entirely sure. They've all lost one individual city. At least a couple of them haven't aged yet. Rowan hasn't aged yet. It's going to be really tough. I don't see how they're gonna pull through here, unless they start rotating like crazy. But even then, if you look at the size of Old Cat's army compared to both Rocinante's and Jesus Nazareth's, like.
Yeah, I mean, Old Cat could basically 1 for 3 at this point.
Yeah, exactly. Especially with the incredible economy that Old Cat has currently.
Yeah, he's just gonna. I think Washington's gonna go down here pretty soon. There goes Washington.
Yep. And it looks like there's just not enough here to prevent the massive colossal army from Old Cat.
Yeah. And then of course Turks get that that extra assimilation bonus. You can see how fast the timer's clicking for that city assimilation.
Yep.
So that's brutal. Once that assimilates, all that attrition and everything.
Yep.
So SDO's definitely dead. Looks like Nazareth's holding a little bit here in the middle. There comes the GG.
GG.
Yeah. And those Korean archers are brutal too. Alright, that's it.
It's over.
Want to take a look at the stats?
Yeah, quite a game. Yeah, let's take a look at the stats. So let's take a look. Let's look at score first, I guess. So clearly, we see that Wolf has the highest score for combat. Obviously, Wolf was one of the players that was raiding constantly, keeping SEO on their back foot. And overall, like the PLA aggression was not able to be countered by SEOs playing so passive. When you play passive like that, you either have to make sure you don't take damage, or you need to try and counter raid somewhat, rather than just sitting there and letting yourself get raided over and over and over and over again.
Yeah, Wildcat had the most units built, as expected with Colossus.
Yep.
As we looked earlier, economy, look at that. Seoul is 525 ruin bonus. I mean, that's like Lakota type numbers with Korea.
Yeah.
And Nazareth only had 50. So
yeah, and if you compare the knowledge gathered, also like there's a clear difference. All of PLA's knowledge incomes were higher than the SDO knowledge comes.
Yep. All right, so game 2?
Yeah, let's go to game 2, yeah.
All right, so right now we got it PLA 1, SDO none.
Yep. For those of you who are just joining us, we're casting SDO versus PLA. I'm ASE the pair, and this is olddirtyh. We're here bringing you this Nordic Classic tournament. Again, this tournament is organized by Connor McDavid. Yeah, this is game 2 of SDO versus PLA Kung Fun, Division 1.
Okay, we're loading up here.
Yep, same.
Start pausing. Okay, what do we got? We've got SDO has Persians, Lakota, and Spanish, and then PLA, Greeks, Germans, Romans. What do you think about that matchup?
Definitely interesting. Let's start the timer, shall we?
Yep. And it looks like whole.
Yep.
Well,
do you want to do a countdown?
Oh, sorry.
No worries. No worries.
Hold on. Let me go to. I'm at 10 seconds. So just
10 seconds. All right.
when you get to 10, tell me.
All right. I'll give you a countdown.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, go.
All right.
All right, and we're off. So yeah, as Oldie said, we are on African watering hole. Of course, the players don't necessarily know that off the top, like immediately, because the format of the tournament is it's secret random land map. However, you can pretty clearly tell this is water hole based on the terrain texture.
Yep.
It's like this weird patchy greenish color, and the trees are kind of ugly looking. Honestly, clearly the signs of watering hole. Let's take a look at the nations, shall we, under game stats?
Yeah, so the SDO with the Spanish Laco, that seems like a great fortunate pick here for this map.
Yeah, Spanish are definitely quite powerful on this map. Obviously, they don't use their normal bonus of being able to see around the map. That's not as useful because the rares are all around the middle. But Spanish obviously have a really excellent, they get a free ship whenever they build a new dock, which is really, really powerful because watering hole, often games are decided by who controls the water, especially in the ancient age. And building those extra heavy ships, it can be really, really, really powerful. And obviously Lakota are excellent on a fast, aggressive map like this, and Persians are good with fish. And so on the PLA side, they've got Greeks, Germans, and Romans. How do you feel about these picks?
I mean, good picks, but it's just like I said, Spanish and Laco together on this map is just really deadly.
Yeah, definitely.
And because another advantage is Spanish can see where all the wood and mountains are, so he could have Lakota go out and just put pressure on the other team with raids constantly for their wood and their metal.
Yep, that's true.
If you see the rares, I'm looking through Spanish eyes here, so they can see citrus.
So it looks like there is a water rare on this map. It is citrus and located on the side of PLA. Citrus is a very good water rare. Obviously, water rares are excellent on African watering hole where there's so much water conflict. But citrus is definitely the worst. It's definitely the not as good one out of citrus and copper. So it looks like PLA have citrus. They've got salt. They might be able to secure amber and maybe sugar. Whereas SDO they've got probably sugar based on the fact that they have a Lakota player, peacocks, cotton, which might actually be helpful in the water wars, and relics. And there's horses that Rocinante and Wolf might be able to fight over.
Yeah, you definitely want to fight for the horses for your Persian ally. That'll help him a lot. And for the Laco player, if he can fast civ and take that citrus, that could be GG.
True, definitely. However, there's some possible costs to that, right? The fast civ might leave his caravan route really vulnerable, especially considering the capital, Makasika, is quite exposed to both Old Cat and Soul for a possible double.
Yep, there's definitely
but
risk.
We'll have to see, Yep. Sorry?
No, yeah, I agree. There's definitely risk with that. But we'll see. Just see how aggressive they want to be.
Let's take a look at how they're scouting. So it looks like purple is actually scouting with quite a number of units this time, which is definitely a good sign, especially considering it's the Lakota player.
Yeah, but surprisingly, Old Cat has more ruins right now, and Wolf does.
Really?
Than the Lakota player. Yeah, Lakota's got 50, Old Cat's got 100, and Wolf's got 75.
Yeah, quite interesting, especially considering how many scouts there are for Lakota. Although I can even see it on the minimap, like there are a couple ruins that that the Lakota player has missed, even though they passed by them. It's important to check the ruins once in a while. Check the minimap once in a while. Make sure that you're not missing any ruins that your scouts may have found, because that's so painful.
Yeah.
Having to walk all the way back and wasting that time.
That's right. And it's also painful when they get stolen by the enemy.
Exactly. So look, despite Lakota's powers, they're actually quite slow here. Like if you just look at the scores, the 154 is 154 compared to like 200 for everybody else. You know, it's quite the difference.
Yeah, until they can get in the water and catch up. I mean, they're pretty slow, yeah.
Yeah.
And this is not the best use either, like I said, you know, with the ruin count being so low. Yeah, he's still at 75. Old Cat's got 125. I mean, all of PLA has more ruins than their Lakota player.
Yeah, that's really, really interesting. It's sometimes ruins are definitely based on luck, right? It's just hard to get. It's just sometimes the ruins just don't line up with the paths that your villagers are scouting. But it is really important to make sure you make sure you micro your villagers well. Interesting. So it looks like Rowan has gone for Commerce 1.
Yep, we got Com 1 from Laco as well. All should probably go Com. You there? Hello? Can you hear me? My Wi-Fi looks good. Hello?
Okay. Am I?
Are you there?
No. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Okay. Okay, you can hear me okay? Okay, you can hear me okay?
Yeah. You there? Yeah. I think it's something with the OBS, I think, because my Wi-Fi is fine.
Discord, that's well, it's something that bugged me out. You can't have Discord either.
All right. Hello, hello. Check, 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 check.
Me?
Yep. Hello.
A lot. I'm just like talking nonsense. Blah blah blah. Okay. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can hear you. But